Mao Zedong, the most famous name in 20th century China, had an ambitious vision for an ideal China, a communist China that could rise and compete on the world stage, cementing its legacy as a world superpower. Through his unwavering hope and tenacity, he worked relentlessly towards that goal, uniting a wounded country that had been ravaged by war and internal conflict. By transforming the socio-political landscape of China, he instilled Maoism as a fundamental base to citizen ideology and political infrastructure, solidifying his presence in modern society and marking the Cultural Revolution as an undeniable turning point in Chinese history. From 1839 to 1949, China suffered at the hands of foreign imperialism during an era known as the Century of Humiliation. Countless wars fought with Japan and Western powers ended in defeat. China was forced into ceding territories, opening ports to foreign powers, and paying reparations. During this period, China also suffered from tumultuous internal power struggles, shifting from the Qing dynasty to the Kuomintang Party of the Republic of China, and finally, to the Chinese Communist Party. As a result, China had lost its footing on the international stage, and the citizens had lost a sense of national pride and trust in their government. It seemed like there was no way for China to dig itself out of this dark hole. But when all things seemed hopeless, a revolutionary named Mao Zedong was determined to turn the fate of China around. When Mao took office as the chairman of the PRC on October 1st, 1949, his first plan of action was to develop China into a communist state, unrecognizable from its past self. Mao had long been interested in Marxism, a theory that suggests socialism as an intermediary step in transitioning a capitalist society to a communist one. He created a new theory called Maoism that extended and built off the ideas of Marxism, identifying the working class as agricultural peasants mobilized for revolution. In January of 1958, Mao launched the Great Leap Forward. To rapidly industrialize China, he mobilized citizens to shift agricultural workers into steel production, financed by agricultural collectivization. However, this exacerbated China's already dire situation. A severe famine struck as a result of reduced agricultural production. 38 million people starved to death. Due to this grave mistake, Mao lost political legitimacy within the CCP. However, his dreams of a unified China persisted. He needed to find a way to re-legitimize his power. On November 10, 1965, Yao Wenyuan, a Chinese literary critic, published a criticism on the opera Hai Rui Dismissed from Office, which told the story of Hai Rui, a Ming Dynasty minister who criticized the emperor for his lack of action to resolve the issues among his people. Their criticism sparked a political debate surrounding the corruption of the CCP, shown during the Great Leap Forward. In a situation where it seemed that Mao's reputation was about to fall even further, Mao surprisingly turned the tables. Mao actually declared that more politicians should act like Hai Rui in a move to revive socialism. Spurred by this momentum, Mao officially launched the Cultural Revolution in August 1966. The mission of the Cultural Revolution was to dissociate China from its historical setbacks by creating an improved China saturated with Maoism. Months after the official launch, the Red Guards, organizations composed of students inspired by Mao, emerged in Beijing. Utilizing China's discontent with the Century of Humiliation, he shut down schools, legitimizing Red Guards to purge those who went against Mao's core beliefs, such as counter-revolutionaries, nationalists, rightists, revisionists, Confucianists, or traditionalists.
There was a fellow who'd been a brigadier general in the nationalist army. They'd found his uniform and some weapons. I didn't take part in the beating, but I watched. I really wanted to beat him because I felt such hatred. The past was still too close.
On August 5, 1955, Mao wrote a Daozubao, a propaganda poster which declared, "Bombard the headquarters." This sparked the purging of many top officials, including President Liu Shaoqi and Deng Xiaoping, effectively removing remnants of capitalism from the government. To purge Chinese traditional values, Mao instructed Lin Biao, the Ministry of Defense, to declare the destruction of the four olds: old ideas, old culture, old customs, and old habits. On October 1st, 1966, Lin Biao gave a speech at a celebration rally, stating, "Its aim is to break the old ideas, culture, customs, and habits of the exploiting classes, and foster the new ideas, culture, customs, and habits of the proletariat." Despite the chaos that these actions brought, Mao managed to consistently solidify his standing in public support. His popularity can be seen in the Mao Mango Fever that took place in 1968. Mao had received mangoes as a gift from the Pakistani foreign minister and decided to distribute the mangoes to workers at Tsinghua University. Mangoes were seen as a gift from Mao, increasing public support and establishing Mao's support for workers. Mao also initiated the Down to the Countryside movement, which sent 17 million youth in urban areas to farming villages. The purpose was for them to learn from peasant workers, further reducing bourgeois support. By April 1969, Mao had truly cemented his standing in the government. The CCP established him as part of the new Politburo Standing Committee, a committee consisting of the highest leadership within the CCP. Afterwards, Mao's health began to decline. The government fell into political disarray once again as leaders fought to become Mao's successor, with Deng Xiaoping eventually winning. Mao died on September 9, 1976, and with that, the Cultural Revolution officially ended. From an economic and social perspective, the Cultural Revolution had devastating effects. The lack of education created the lost generation, a cohort of people who never had the chance to study at university. Approximately 1.6 million people died. Some had been subjected to public humiliation, persecuted, and massacred.
跨度几年以后，大概到了70年代，6七八年的时候，我自己是67年，我自己被关起来了。原因就是我们有海外关系，有基督教的信仰，就是在关到3-4个月的时候，我是想自杀，因为我感到一个人生已经没有任何希望，你每天都是几千人、上万人的这个批斗会，把你踩在脚底下，是吧？就是没有人认为你是个好人。
Cultural sites, literature, and art had all been destroyed. Deng Xiaoping tried to reverse the damages created by employing capitalist systems, trying to strengthen foreign ties, and bringing back purged leaders, but only so much could be done. Yet, despite all the devastation, Mao's ideas lived on. Although Mao's ideal communist state did not last long, his ideology made an impression on China that persists today, 50 years after the fact. His ideology is a fundamental base of China's current political infrastructure. Xi Jinping, the current chairman of the PRC, has taken steps to re-solidify Mao's image and implement his political theories within the CCP and his own ideology. In a collection of speeches that appeared following the CCP's 18th Party Congress in November 2012, Xi urged party members to embrace Mao Zedong thought and feared that China would fall into chaos. Following through with this goal, he justified China's zero-COVID strategy with Mao's doctrine of the People's War.
Zero-COVID policy in launching an all-out people's war to stop the spread of the virus.
Along with Maoism influence in the political sphere, worshipping his philosophies, many citizens have turned to Maoism. On the eve of Mao's birthday, large crowds of his admirers, many young, converged at the Mao Zedong statue square in Shaoshan to express discontentment of China's current economic structure through Mao's ideology. Although Mao is a controversial figure, what remains clear is that he altered Chinese thinking by creating a Maoist vision of the nation. Utilizing this ideological tool, he influenced citizens of China to believe in his vision that continues in modern society.